I say, you know, somebody could say, I'm in here in this quiet moment with Jesus reading my Bible all day long, and then somebody comes and knocks on my door, and I'm like, go away, I'm learning how to love people and Jesus. It's funny because that's what we do sometimes. I'd rather just hang out with Jesus. I don't want to deal with you, and I don't know what your mess is. But with when I became married, I was like, okay, I'm going to go about my whole routine. Yeah. I go to meet with Jesus.
And my 45 minutes to an hour all by myself. And
yeah, and I'm just like, go in and I'm like, just when I feel the presence of God fall, I feel this phrase in my head, I can't get it up. I was like, okay, what do you want? How do I love you today, Lord? That's my question. And I'm like, go love Josh. I'm like, what? I just got here. It's like, go love Josh. I'm like, okay.
So how many of you are married out there? Raise your hand. Okay, this is good. Go, Lacey. Tell us about it.
So I get up to go, you know, where my husband is. He's working, doing some work on a house, and I'm like, hey, is there anything I need to help you in here? And he's like, yeah, you can scrape the wallpaper over there. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to worship Jesus and scrape the wallpaper. Worship Jesus. And so I go to scrape the wallpaper. I talk about this in the book. Is what you're
oh, yeah.
I
have it all right now.
So, you know, like, as if you're worshiping Jesus while you scrape wallpaper, you got to do a good job. And so I'm just like really, like, you know, meticulous. I'm not going to get any of the drywall off. I'm like, you know, I don't know if anybody's ever done this before. But anyway, so I'm doing great. And I have to keep going or I'm going to mess up this one piece. And my husband goes, hey, can you scoop up this stuff for me real quick? And I'm like,
she's loving Josh by scraping wallpaper. I don't speak floors.
I'm like, if I stop right now, I'm gonna mess up this great piece that I got going on here, hanging off the wall. And so I hear the Lord say, "Did you come here to scrape wallpaper, or did you come here to love Josh?" And I was like, okay. So I put my thing down, and then I go pick up the broom, and I'm sweeping up, and of course I'm worshiping Jesus while I'm doing this, so I'm doing a really good job of sweeping the floor. The sun's shining in on it, so I can see every dust speck, and I'm like, get it all up, it's doing so good, and then I get it all done. And I just got to step back, and Josh takes his ladder that he was on where some drywall had fallen on it, and he takes it, turns it upside down and hits the floor with all the drywall just swirling into the air, going into every corner that I just cleaned up. And I was like, what are you doing? And all of a sudden, before I could say anything, the Lord's like, did you come here to sweep the floor or to love your husband? And I'm like, I think I need to learn what this looks like. I'm not doing it very well.
That is so funny, but it's so relatable. I'm just slaving away in the kitchen to just, you know, you love yourself. Yes. And we trick ourselves into thinking that, you know, that is worship, but sometimes we're just doing that for our own satisfaction. My kitchen's such a meticulous house. Nobody cares but you. It's all about you. It's about your meticulous house. It's about everything being in its right place. It's like, are you loving your kids and loving your husband, or are you just like worshiping your neat house? But I'm thinking about the Lord spoke to me. Okay. This is what you wrote. You said it's hard to tell the difference between working and loving sometimes. Yeah. They can look exactly the same, but my heart posture is the only thing that tells me the difference.
That's right.
Yeah. And I'll just leave it to anybody to interrupt your work. Then you know if you're loving or if you're working. You know? Like if you're loving and you get interrupted, it's just another opportunity to love, to change gears, to shift, and to do something different and love in a different way. And then there's this great quote that you put in there, lovers outwork workers every time. That's worth writing down. Lovers outwork workers every time. It reminds me of the sign in Ruth Graham's house in North Carolina. She had a little sign over her sink that says, divine service is rendered here 3 times a day. Here she could wash her dishes and do it with the right attitude. It was divine service to the glory of God, loving her family. Yeah. And I just love that. And, you know, just turning your heart towards your home after you've been on tour, and the practical ways in which you were loving God back was so beautiful. I mean, I went on and on through this book and just marveled at, you know, the practical aspects of how that should look in each of our lives. And I hope when you guys are listening to this, you're just like, well, I can't relate to that. I'm not married, I can't relate to that. I'm not a rock singer, and I don't have a gift for music. I mean, the whole point of this is that God has given you gifts. He has given you his self, you know, you're made in his image. You are a creator, you are a lover, you are to reflect him. And all of us in our own sphere, in our own way, need to discover what that looks like and where that is right now between your own 2 feet. That we don't mistake what is happening right now and be thinking it's off somewhere in the distance or off in the future. We're just, you know.
Right. God said if you want, whoever wants to be the greatest,
be the servant of all.
The servant of all, right? And that's something I think that goes on in heaven, right? I mean, why not? Well, it's a heavenly reality. Jesus said
what Jesus did himself. He reflected the heart of God, and what heaven is all about is really what God did. He came down and he emptied himself and poured himself out, you know.
And with the parable of the talents, it's, you know, well done, good and faithful servant. You know, thank you. You know, it's like, it's not, we don't serve because we're slaves of God. We serve because we love God. And you do that with anybody you love. You know, when you're in awe of somebody and you love them, you just, what can I do for you? And you guys are so good at that here, by the way. You guys have an amazing gift at this Church of Hospitality. It's beautiful, but it feels heaven culture. It feels like what it's like, you know, to just look at somebody and recognize what Christ is in you. You know, I get to love you today. You know what I mean?
And that little piece of heaven can go wherever you go. You know, when the kingdom of God is within you, where is that heaven being spread about? In your kitchen, or in your workplace, or in your school, or whatever. And you know, Lacey, as we get, you know, to the end of the evening here, and we've got a few minutes, you know, at the end of the book, you ask this question, and it's the question that I asked when I first heard that God loved me and had a plan for my life. It's like, so what do I do? And the question you wrote is, how do we start? And we start by having a conversation with God. We start right there. And, you know, most of the women, I would say, a lot of the women already know what that conversation looks like and what it feels like. And you're in some sort of place within that conversation. But there might be girls here tonight that have no idea of where to begin. You know, they don't understand that who they are and how they were created as God's workmanship. They've never heard that before. What would you tell them about coming into a relationship with a God who loves them?
Well, I think we sit with our thoughts, and, you know, we wrestle things through in our minds. Maybe we don't do that as much now because we have a phone constantly to give us thoughts. Think for us, right? We don't sit and wonder. But when it's quiet, your phone's not, or you can reach it, it died, or whatever, and you sit with your thoughts, you know, that is a beginning of a conversation that you can have with the Lord. And it's really important that we take because you are going to spend energy in your thoughts some way. We use our mouths to say something. We use our thoughts to do something. You know, whether it's keep on thinking, worrying, or keep on, you know, stewing over something that hurt you, or wondering why, or what, you know. So if you can do that with your thoughts, then you can do that with God in your thoughts. And just be very honest. God, help. God, what do I do? God, why is this? What can you tell me? It's just always being honest. If you can picture yourself going through it with a friend, or going through it with, you know, even if somebody you're angry with. I mean, David does this in the Psalms. Sometimes he's yelling almost at God. Like, why didn't you just kill my enemies? You know, that kind of thing. That sounds pretty honest with a holy God, to say things like that. And that's the thing, is that when we start to talk to God, we come with honesty, and we take our thoughts and we begin to process them with God. Ask him the questions you want. And
maybe somebody here tonight doesn't know the Lord. And, you know, to begin that conversation with God, we need to come to him humbly. We need to come to him broken, and we need to present ourselves as we are. God is standing with open arms, and he's inviting us into that relationship with him even now. And he would say to you, I love you. I came into this world to die on a cross for your sins, that you might come into a relationship with me, that you might really understand who I am and the gifts that I want to give you, and to be your Heavenly Father. I mean, could we ask these ladies right now to bow our heads and pray with us for a moment? And maybe there's somebody in here. Just bow your heads out there.